Hey, welcome back, everybody, to another week of the Photo Booth Magazine with Art and Dave. Uh, Sorry, last week I had an event down in Boca Raton where luckily it was last week and not this week because we have that wonderful Ian hurricane rolling through the state. But Art, you did an awesome job. You guys were fantastic. I was watching everything. Um, Actually, when I landed on the plane, I was listening to it on the way home, and you guys were great.
Oh, thanks. And Jordan St. Jacques last week was great to banter back and forth with the SEO stuff. I've I've been in the online industry for a very, very long time. It's actually since 1998. So since the year that Google was founded, and
Right,
I've worked at agencies in New York City, worked in agencies outside in North New Jersey, and I've also worked with a global corporation doing paid search and SEO. I've trained over 200 people across the globe. With half of them being in England. Actually, they flew me out to England one year to train over there, and then also to train over here in the U.S. I was the head of SEO for a company called Haibu for a while. Managed a lot of companies, Fortune 500 companies. I've done work with Sony, Hyatt hotels, a bunch of Las
yeah,
Vegas hotels, all different types, and small mom and pop. So it was nice to kind of shine with Jordan, who's got, man, such a vast amount of knowledge in SEO. And that's one of the things that, I like to be able to do is kind of just take little bits of information and help everybody else out. Like I've done with you, Dave, like, with your website. You and
yep.
I sat down one night and we did just a couple quick changes and boom, you were ranking number one in like a week, right? So,
No, no, it was overnight. It
was
was
it overnight?
overnight. Yeah, it was overnight. I remember messaging you next day saying, something's wrong here because it should have been longer.
Hey,
But I think we need to do more SEO because feedback that I got from a lot of people
yep.
were um, that they really enjoyed it and wanted to see more. So we'll have to definitely get some more SEO stuff on the books.
Yeah,
But
we will, and I
yeah,
want Jordan to be a part of those conversations. He and I were talking offline, and there's just so much that you can do with SEO, and there's easy, low hanging fruit that you can do, which is what I try to spit out. But then there's
right,
more advanced stuff, which he's really good at verbalizing. And I think last week I do feel that, it was more conversation and not enough examples of some of the
right,
things. And I think I want to plan that out better. So for all you folks out there watching, or if you watch this later, we're definitely going to have another couple SEO and also Google paid ads episodes as well. Because my true expertise is Google ads. I mean, I can slice and dice up Google left and right with the paid search. SEO is probably more on Jordan's side. So yeah, so we'll
right.
definitely do that. I heard everybody's feedback loud and clear, and like we want more examples, we want more stuff to take back. But
Yep.
I think just we'll plan on that. We promise you.
Yeah, definitely uh, uh, crowd favorite for sure.
Cool. Um,
So
we were supposed to have James Trivlis this week.
I know, but unfortunately, he's rowing a boat around somewhere in South Florida.
He's right somewhere around. I don't know if you can see it on the screen. It's a little bit north of that red. Is that where that is? Is
It,
that where he's living?
it's right around that green area. It's
Okay.
somewhere in that green area there, that dark green area. That's where James is at.
Ugh.
And listen, we want to. If anybody knows a boother in the Florida area, please reach out to them. Make sure that everybody's okay.
Yeah.
Um, this is very serious. I mean, this is probably one of the worst hurricanes that's going to hit Florida in a long time, and we want to make sure that everybody that's in our industry is safe. Um, Hopefully nobody's equipment gets damaged or whatever, but if something happens, please reach out to the community um, so we can help. We don't want to see anything happen to anybody,
Yeah.
and hopefully it's just a quick blip on the event side there, and everything gets back to normal. But just want everybody in the Florida area and in the path of this thing, because it's eventually going to hit us. I think later next
This
over the
weekend.
weekend, maybe early next week. So,
Yeah, it's this
um,
weekend. Yeah, we're gonna get hit.
we're praying for everybody in Florida.
Yeah,
To be that they're safe.
yeah.
So,
So we were
and
supposed to
it's
have.
especially James, and we're gonna miss him. We'll get him rescheduled for anybody who was looking for James tonight.
Yeah. So we were going to look at a little bit what Curator Live has got coming. There's some new things, and well, this actually gives them a little bit more time because you said we have more stuff coming out. So for those of you who don't know what Curator is, it's one of the iPad apps for photo boothing. It's fantastic. I use it all the time. And James is such a great guy. I mean, he's always willing to help. So if he needs help, James, if you're watching this, we miss you, and we hope everything's going well, and that
Yep.
you'll be back up and running soon enough.
So this is that pivot moment where we pull something out of the box that we weren't ready for, but we're just going to make it magically happen tonight.
That's right.
Um, so we're going to talk about a couple things. One of the hot topics that seem to be floating around the Photo Booth Network uh, was state taxes
Yeah.
for anybody in the U.S. A lot of states, whether or not you know this or not, photo booths, if you're printing or giving a customer a digital copy, is taxable.
That's right.
Now, obviously, we recommend that everybody reach out to your local CPA or accountant.
Exactly right.
Um, don't take advice from people on Facebook or online.
Yeah.
Please reach out to a true professional in your state, and even the state. Look it up on in this particular state that you're in. Uh, Art and I are both in the state of Pennsylvania. Um, I'm actually in the state of confusion, but that's the other part of the state that, that
That's why you
we
hire
live in.
somebody. So I've got a CPA that I've been working with for the last 4 years, and it's
Right.
worth it. I think it cost me my bill comes with like $350, and to me that's insurance. Like I just hand him everything. It's like here's everything I've got. You tell me what I need to do, and I do it. He has everything nice and filled out for me. All I have to do is do my signatures. He's got the
Yep.
envelopes, the pay stubs that I need. I take care of that, and it's. I know a lot of people try to do taxes themselves, try and figure it out, and that's fine. But for me, I don't have time to do all that stuff, and I want
Yeah. I
somebody I
mean,
know who's an expert and accountable.
yeah. Well, with the tax stuff, I mean, if you don't know, there was a very large uh, DJ entertainment company based out of New Jersey that the owner posted that they do photo booths, they do photography, they do um, DJ,
Yeah,
which is their main core business. And he got audited by the state of New Jersey and really got hammered,
yeah.
from what I understand. So, um, we don't want to see that happen to anybody because, I mean, hopefully everybody's got this under their wing and is really understanding tax laws. Like I said, if you're not sure, hire somebody, hire a professional, even if you just do it the first year or two, just till you learn it yourself,
Hmm.
or get advice. But please don't listen to the people on Facebook. I mean,
Yeah,
even Art and I aren't professionals at this. We have help.
that's right.
um yeah, and if you're, like I said, if you're not sure, hire somebody who is. That's it's going to save you a lot of headache later on.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, I wasn't
and that's
always, organized with this stuff, and so when I first started out, I was doing a few events a year, and then it started growing. I was like, I need a tax guy because I
right.
don't want to get caught. I mean, I've got a family, I've got a house, and the last thing I need is for anything to get taken away. So I'd rather have somebody, and the laws change too, the tax laws. So doing it yourself is good, but if something changes, it's good to know what those changes are. And sometimes there's little things that benefit you that you may not be doing that you can be taking advantage of to save you money on taxes
Yep.
that a CPA is going to know.
Right. Well, I know. during COVID, the guy that I used really kind of helped with the um, understanding the PPA loans and all that stuff,
Hmm.
and you know, found some really good resources.
Yep.
So
There's still money out there, by the way. Did you know that, Dave?
there
Yeah.
is. I heard.
It's called ERTC.
Yep,
Yep.
yep. So, but you have to still have lingering effects, I believe, from COVID
It
for your
had to have
business,
happened in either 2020 or 2021, a
right?
loss, and I think you have to have at least five employees that
Yeah,
are not
yeah.
not W no yeah not contractors,
W-2.
actual employees.
Yeah, they have to be W-2.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was reading up on that.
it's like up to twenty six
Unfortunately,
thousand dollars per.
I don't have all that yet.
Yeah, I don't have those
Um,
that number of employees. I do have a couple people that don't have five, and
right,
it's I think it's up to $26,000 per person. So ask your CPA
right.
about that too. Another reason to have a CPA because there's money out there,
Sure,
and if you're eligible
exactly.
for it. And it wasn't eligible. You
Don't.
weren't, people weren't eligible in the beginning, like for it previously. This is something that they recently just brought back and said, "Hey, here's some money." And
Right.
there's a deadline too. From what I hear, I think it's the end of this year that you have to file it. But I could be wrong about
I
that.
think so. Yeah, yeah. The
Yeah,
end of this year is
yeah,
what I saw.
yep. So
So,
that's the money side of things. Play your cards
hey,
right.
that's a cool prop.
It
Wait,
is.
you have cards on the flip side of yours?
I do.
The money that I have that as a very similar one, except mine says food stamps on the back.
Oh, that's cool. Where'd you get that one from?
Mm, I think I got that one from Yo Props back in
You
the day.
okay? I
Back
love props.
when Min still I think had the company.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that was one of his. With props. I mean, I remember when they were first starting in the groups. The signs and stuff like that. Like Min was one of the first
Yeah,
big people that had signs, and I remember buying his and um, thinking like people were just loving the signs, and it was like a 6 inch by like 4 inch
uh-huh.
sign, but they were really nicely made. I still have them today,
They last.
and there's some of the sayings are still good. Matter of fact, I see new signs sometimes with some of the old sayings, on there.
Well, that's
Very, very
and that's what I wanted. I wanted to talk about props because we couldn't have James on. I was like, well, man, what can we talk about? And I've been wanting to talk
right.
about this for a little bit is props. So I brought some props, right?
You brought props?
I brought props. So we're gonna take a look at them. But one of the things you're right, the signs came out, and I love signs, and I love and hate. So I like the signs a lot because they're durable, right? They're hard.
Right.
It's hard to break. Although I'll tell you what, I've done some mitzvahs. These kids, man, they're like Hulks. Some of them can just snap them in half. It almost seems like they do it on
Yep.
purpose, but whatever. It's part of doing business, right?
Yep.
Um, but I love them because they'll last a long time for the most part. The only thing that I have a problem with, and again, it's just working if you've got a good attendant or director, as I spoke about previously, I don't call them attendants, I
Mhm.
call them directors, and you call them hosts, right? It's just making sure
Yep.
you're telling people to angle it right, so you're not getting that flashback.
Yeah, you either have to tilt it down or tilt it up, or yeah,
Yeah.
for the flash.
And they're thin, so you can fit a lot more in a case, your prop
Yep.
case. Than I used to have all the hats, right? Before COVID, and people love the hats, and I love the hats. And I used to have the boas that I got from PV Backdrops; those were great. I've
Yep.
actually shied away from the wearables because just I mean, after COVID, I mean, it's just like people's stuff, and people say you can Lysol them. That's good, but you know what? I don't like bowling because I
Right.
even though they clean the shoes at the bowling alley, I just still it doesn't feel right, man.
Well, I have to say I do the wearables also,
Yeah,
um, along with the signs. I keep sanitary like wipes
yeah,
on the table so the guests that are um, oh, somebody posted. A trick hairspray. Yeah, so there is actually sprays that you can spray on your props
Uh-huh.
that will help with the reduction of uh,
The
the
glare.
glare
I
and
haven't
flashing.
tried that yet.
Yeah, there's actually like a spray paint type stuff
Okay.
that you can spray on that'll like matte it a little
Right.
bit. And
Is it
then the
sticky?
hairspray.
But is it sticky
What's that?
though? Does it make the prop sticky?
No,
Okay.
no, no.
Gotcha.
Um, I mean, it is when you first spray it, but once it dries, it's pretty good.
I'm gonna have to
That
try that.
Yeah, the hairspray does work. I have done that.
Okay.
Um, Certain types of hairsprays work better than others. I want to say the Aquanet, like the stuff from the 80s,
Classic.
the classic stuff. I think that worked best when I was using that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, to get back to where I was going, because I have ADD, and a
Right.
quick shiny thing kind of distracts me for forever. Um, I use we have the sanitary wipes, and I did this during COVID too. Is we had the sanitary, like hand wipes, and then I've also got the little bottles I put out of the hand sanitizer too.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, me
so
too. I got it. And people want it, they got it. And the
yeah.
and the sanitizing wipes are always there. At the very least, after the event, if I because sometimes you get so many people coming in, and the line is so long, it's like I can't keep wiping after every single one. But I'll try it in
Well,
the
and
downtime.
I don't know if you know this, but a lot of the props you can actually put in the dishwasher too.
I haven't tried that.
You don't want to run it through the heat cycle, but you can actually some of the PVC props you can actually wash in the dishwasher on like
Okay.
a normal rinse type thing.
All right. I'll give that a shot too, because it's Lo was looking for efficiency, so that's a really good tip right there.
Yeah,
That's really good. So
yeah.
two good
But
tips
I
for
mean,
me to Aquanet.
you want to check with the manufacturer of who
Okay.
you got your props from,
Yeah.
um, because I know that there's some that are kind of a cheaper foam,
Okay.
board that they're using.
Yeah.
So you want to check with the manufacturer. But yeah, I do have some where I used to just throw them in the dishwasher.
Well, these definitely would
Um,
be. I mean, these are as long as you're not putting it on heat, right? So I would put it on just a
no,
cold wash.
you're just putting it like on a rinse type, you know,
Right.
like a light rinse type thing with
Okay.
you know,
Well, that's a good tip. Those are
the
two great
pot or
tips.
whatever.
Aquanet to get rid of glare.
Yeah. Yep.
Utilize the tools you got. Some people use like their washing machines, right, to clean off their backdrops, and I didn't
Yep.
even think about putting props in a dishwasher.
Yeah. I mean, I throw my PB backdrops in the washing machine.
Hmm.
Um, I had an event a couple weeks ago where the attendant or my host didn't catch one of the people, and they had red wine, and
Oh, yeah.
it was down the back of the backdrop. So um he did what he could on at the event, got some cold water, and it
Aquanet. Aren't you supposed to also spray with hairspray too to kind of freeze the stains?
I don't know. I don't
I
know.
think so. I
But
think
luckily I got it home, and I will say the quality of the backdrop that I got from Brian Ginsburg, I mean, you couldn't even tell that it was there after all the washing. So
yeah.
I don't know, whatever material they used was,
Well, that's a good.
worked really well. And no, I don't get paid by Brian Ginsburg for, his my comments. It's purely unsolicited. But yeah, I mean, they look great.
I actually had an email conversation with Brian last week. Well, not really a conversation. He replied back, "Yeah, I'd love to be on the show." So we'll try and get him on. That'd be a good topic to talk in, like care of the backdrops.
That would be great, because I know a lot of people buy these and then
Hmm.
they don't know. And there's so many types of backdrops out there. I mean, I have, and I think you have the sequin ones. There's a good way to store those,
Right.
as well as the pillowcase type. So maybe we can, talk about that stuff.
Yeah, there's so much to talk about with backdrops. That's evolved crazy over the last few years. I mean, we went from
Right.
people using sheets to then the sequin stuff and printed stuff, and now you got the pillow backdrops, and then there's enclosures. It's insane all the different options that are available out there. Yeah, we'll talk about
Yeah.
that.
So that's a good topic. We can bring up for a later show.
Yeah.
And also, if anybody's watching off of YouTube, please make sure you hit the like and subscribe button so you can see this stuff. Um, Please reach out to Art and I if you have any suggestions for shows that you'd like to see or individuals that you'd like us to interview. We have no problems reaching out to people.
Yep.
We know lots of people in the industry that some people are curious about. I know we're gonna have Sharon from Chit Chat.
Hmm.
I think her group's Chit Chat Photo Booth
Yeah.
group, and she's just doing phenomenal. And I remember her when she was first starting and all nervous that, oh my gosh, can I do this? And, everybody was, you can do it, you can do it. And now here she is, she's doing like weekly corporate events for
Oh,
like
she
the
she was at the
Washington
yeah the Washington
Commanders or whatever.
Commanders. She's at the game. I think
Yeah,
she had like 5 or 6 booths in the
yeah,
stadium for football day. It's like, holy
yep.
cow, that's a
Yeah, she's
great job.
she's just doing incredible.
Yeah.
And it's people like that in our industry that, we want to highlight. Um, I reached out to like Josh Panther.
Hmm.
I'm trying to think of Catalina from Photo Booth Supply Company and Modern Photo Booths. We're going to
Yep.
try and get her on scheduled. So I mean, we've got some people lined up that we want to highlight, but we want to hear from you guys. I mean, please don't hesitate to reach out to Art or myself and give us some suggestions of people,
Yeah.
topics that
Yep.
you'd like us to cover.
Hmm. And we know
We
it's
want to.
like, and we've got, it's we can't sit here for 2 or 3 hours and do. That's why we try to break it up. So if we don't cover in full length something on one of the shows, and we can always come back to that. So we love the post show comments, and we know we're not perfect. We're not trying to be perfect. We're just trying to have a good time, trying to give you guys some information as best as we can, and trying to introduce everybody and get some exposure to some new ideas and refreshers on stuff you may already know. So
Yeah, we want to help everybody build their business. That's
yep.
that's why we're doing this. You know, um, we love this industry. I mean,
Hmm.
I love this industry because I've been doing it forever, and I love helping people, and I love the thing that I love most about this industry is I love people that when they put the effort in and they get the reward back, that they share it, pay it forward a little bit, um, help other people. And there's some people that they just want to be spoon fed, but
That's fine.
we're here to help you help yourself,
That's right.
you know. So, but we're still talking about props.
Yes,
So
props.
you have a prop,
I do. I do. But before we get to that, I just want to remind
okay?
everybody we do have a website. It's photoboothmagazine.com. And I saw a comment the other day that, oh, I need some advice on props. Well, as best as I could, there's some really good prop companies out there that provide a variety of them. Epic Print Concepts, Prop Goals, Prop Culture, Prop Trunk, Props to You, Yo Props, and even there's some other manufacturers on this vendor directory page that also provide props. So, for example, PB Backdrops also provides props.
Right?
Danny Max has a little bit of props going on. There's a handful of other companies out here that also supply multiple products than just what they're supplying. So please go
Yep,
to photoboothmagazine.com vendor directory. You can find those there. Um, yeah, and so I've got a handful sitting with me that I want to talk about. So I did start off with the PVC signs, which are fantastic. Before we get to the other ones, it's kind of funny, and I want to see if you have the same kind of feeling. So you're at your event, Dave, and you've got all these fantastic props, and somebody walks up to you with the packet from Amazon with the paper props on
yeah,
sticks.
yeah. I'll put them out.
Yeah, I
I
do
I
too.
will I will put them out for the customer, but I will put them in the back of the table. Um, and I have all my stuff
Yeah,
up front.
I
And
put them out too. They usually end up on the floor by the end of the night,
they
right?
do. They do. Or they come off the sticks after the first or second time and
Yeah.
that's kind of where they stay on the floor. You
I'm
know,
like, oh, how cute. But
yeah,
Jeff Bezos is making gajillion off of these paper props on sticks. And some of them are pretty cool. Don't get me wrong, and they themes that we probably wouldn't be able to get otherwise.
yeah.
Uh, but
Well,
then
I mean, you can look on like Etsy and
yeah,
Amazon and uh, eBay. There's companies that sell those,
hmm
and inexpensive kind of. Listen, I started out with the little paper signs
yeah, you had to start
that I
somewhere.
got from like Party City or something. They had a wedding package and then they had a party package. I think it had maybe 20 signs in it, and it was just like a cardboard stock paper with
Yeah,
colorful sayings on the front and back, and that's how I started my props.
yeah. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just funny. It's just because where we're at, we've gone through that, and then when you see the quality of the props that we have now today, you're like, oh my gosh, I got these things, and they end up on the floor at some point, and they get crumpled up and they get ripped and torn. It's like, but hey, props are props, no matter what you got. As long as you have props, that's people love them. So
Yep.
I want to show some other ones other than the signs. One of the things that I like to do is whether I'm going to yard sales or whether I'm at like Michael's or Hobby Lobby, I try to find things that are a little bit different, right? And we have Halloween coming up, and everybody waits till the day after Halloween to go buy stuff.
November
So
1st.
that's where
November
this
1st. That's when I
that's where
hit the
this bad
store.
boy came from.
Yep.
This one's really good, but you got to be careful with little kids because they'll want to hit each other with it. So I usually bring this to
Yeah.
just like weddings, just like that. So again,
Yeah, but
some
that's even dangerous for weddings too. I mean, I have the Thor hammer, and sometimes,
I mean, this thing's got
drunk
weight to it.
people whack themselves with that, playing around with it.
Yeah, it's
So,
fun. I'll bring this out every once in a while. I did show the one that I get from
do
Dan.
you
You have the
do I
same
see a
one.
chicken in the background there?
Oh, I got a chicken, but this one I want to
Yes.
show. I
I
had,
have I have a bunch of those, and
yeah,
I gotta say, those are super sturdy. Can you show how thick it is on the edge?
yeah.
I mean, that's a thick one, and it's very sturdy. Yes.
This is the same stuff. This is actually you can, and Danny, Max. I apologize if you don't want to sell these anymore, but I'm going to show it anyway. He does have a couple that are ready, but I was lucky enough early on when he started. I wanted hashtag just married,
Yep.
and this is probably one of the favorite ones that I get for wedding couples, and I actually frame up. So I use 3 strips, right? And some people use 4, some people do but
Yep.
I have a certain session. I grab the bride and the groom for their own special session. This one's always used in those, and they absolutely love it. So
Yep.
this one I got from Danny Max. I want to show give credit where credit is due. I did show I'll show that one in a second. Prop trunk is where I got this one from, right?
Right.
So I try to shop
So
for
I
everything.
will I will say the prop trunk ones. Uh, Guillermo has. I think that's how you say his first name. He has a bunch of like really oversized props.
Yeah,
So
those
if
are
you have
cool.
like a 360 booth or something like that, or just something you're looking for something unique,
Like these.
um,
Oh, here we go.
right?
These.
Yep.
Those are pretty
So you
cool.
got like food ones,
hmm
um, epic prints is where
Bacon.
I got like I have the bacon, but
Yeah.
I did an event for Dunkin' Donuts,
This is
and they
this is the
actually
biggest.
did.
This is the most popular one of everything I
Yes.
got. Yeah,
Yep.
bacon. Right, there we go.
But they actually did like donuts for me, and it's got to
Oh,
be two probably 2 feet across in diameter
okay.
with like a hole in the middle, and guests like absolutely love it. Like they hold it up and they stick their face through the little donut
hmm
hole in the middle. It's kind of food props are always fun.
Yeah.
I have for the wearable ones, I have a pizza,
I like
that
that
you put
one.
your face inside.
Where did you get that one from?
I think I got that from Spirit of Halloween at one of the end of the year raids that I do.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal. I gotta if I could find that one. I gotta grab that one was great. You used that at my
I
sister,
think you can
my
get
my
it.
brother's wedding. That was good.
I think, yeah, I had that at the event that I did for you. The other one that's very popular is oh, my lobster claws.
Yes. Where did you get those?
I got those on Amazon.
Okay.
Um, that is probably the most popular prop that I have requested. I actually get requests from people
That's
that were at events, and they're like, "Oh my God,
that's your
you're that guy
signature.
that brings the lobster,
Yeah.
brings the." I mean, that's how like I get recognized at events now because I
Yes.
have the lobster
Like
claws.
props can definitely give you your own signature. And for I know for
Sure,
you, I mean, I've seen pictures, but the only time I've seen the lobster claws is you using them. And I'd
right.
like to get them too, but I kind of don't want to steal your thunder. But they're fantastic.
They
Um,
are, and the photos that people use with them. Um, let me find. Let me. There's some funny ones. Let me try and find one while you're talking about what
yeah,
you were holding up there.
yeah. You find them, and then I can do a guest share if you want to show of your
Yep,
screen. All right. So you find them, you let me know.
yep,
I lucked out at my brother's wedding. Of course, you did it. The real
yes.
deal like championship belt. So the story behind this is, we went to Penn State, and he wanted a Penn State one that had the Nittany line on it for Penn State
Hmm.
football, and they sent him this one by accident. And there was only like a day left before the wedding when it arrived, so he doesn't like UFC, so he gave me this one. But this one I've been using. This is like on par with the bacon. I mean, it's the real deal, like heavy $300 belt that I lucked out getting.
That
That
was super heavy. Yes.
it is. It's like 6 pounds, 6 or 7 pounds, I think, maybe even
Yep.
more. Yeah, it's really good. Did you find your picture yet?
I'm still looking through one of the. So I have a gallery on my website, and I have so many pictures on there. Um, and if anybody ever wants to check out my website, please don't hesitate. My website's iSmilePod, and my email is david@ismilepod. If you ever just want to chit chat, um, because I always like talking to people.
This is your site
So,
right here.
but
Nice
yeah,
looking
there's
site.
some. Thank you, thank you. Actually, that site was originally come from Cherie from Photo Booth Talk.
Oh,
She was
really?
doing she was doing photo booth templates
Okay.
and or photo booth website templates, and I actually got that from her, and it was just incredible. Um,
I think I have the claws up. Hold on. Let me go to my Smug Mug. That's what I use to store my photos, by the way. Another question is,
that's
when you're sharing photos, Smug Mug's what I use.
right.
I
So
think
here I
you
have
got
one. Yeah, I got one. So let me share my screen real quick,
okay, and I'll go to.
and there we go. Let me
The
go
screen's gonna
here.
go black because I didn't get this frame ready, folks. So there's gonna be a couple black squares. I wasn't prepared for the the guest share. So
Uh,
let's go here. Let me know when you're
Chrome
sharing.
tab. There we go. Okay, you ready? Here we go. Ta-da!
All right, let me go there, so you can see my ugly mug, and then we're gonna assign this one to. That one is. Boom. Ta-da! Okay, so the claws are right there in the middle.
Yep.
Wiggle, wiggle,
So
wiggle. I like that.
so those I think those were song lyric signs that I had.
Yeah,
Um,
that one's Jason Derulo right there. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. All right.
wiggle, wiggle. Yeah, I think so.
That
But
really
I
is
I
something.
also had like I have another one that says "Don't stop believing."
Okay.
Never gonna give you up. All about the bass, but when people use that, they cover up the B, so it says something
Oh,
else that we can't say
about
out
the.
loud. Because YouTube will probably ban us for saying it.
You can say ass.
Oh my gosh!
I've heard
Now we're gonna
worse.
get banned. But this was a wedding that I recently did. I still have the wearables. the hats, the Viking hats, the glasses.
Hmm.
My drink props are very popular at weddings. The devil horns, and I have the angel halo kind of thing. To kind of have the good and bad, which are popular. You can barely see, but I have the the drink prop under there.
Oh
Let
yeah.
me see. But I mean, people get very creative with the props, with
Oh.
the lobster claws.
Oh, absolutely.
Mostly guys. So
Of course. I guess the ladies are
here's
pretty
another.
that outdo the guys. I'll tell you. That's pretty cool. I like
Yeah.
that.
So I mean, it's a lot of fun.
Is that money?
The
What was that? It was like a money garland.
Yes.
Okay, that's
So I
cool.
bought I bought that. Where did I get that? I think I bought that on Amazon. Um, it was yeah, like a money boa. You know,
Yeah,
it's got like $100 bills on it. Uh, that's very popular too.
that's cool. I like that one.
Yeah, actually, that's two of them that I kind of linked together because
Okay.
it's not very long. Like the single one's not very big, but if you link two of them together, and I mean, it wasn't that expensive. Um,
Yeah,
so
thinking
yeah, I mean
outside the
that.
box with the props. So I mean, you definitely get a few sets of the PVC props, and again, go to our website. There's all the vendors are on there. Get
See, here's
someone's.
one of the
There
donuts.
it is. There's the
It's
donut.
literally it's literally like I said, 2 feet
Jeez
wide,
Louise. I've seen
and
the
I got
VW
that
bus
from
ones.
Epic Prints when I did
Hmm.
the uh, Dunkin' Donuts openings. Um, but these signs, I will say, like these speech bubble signs,
Yeah.
super popular,
They
super
look
popular
good
for
in
weddings.
photos too. I want to talk about that. Not that I like to talk a
Yep.
lot, but there's a bunch of like signs out there. They look cool on the sites, but there's some of them are just so busy that they get
Right.
lost. There's just too much clutter and design all over the place, and the words get lost. So me personally, I try my signs I get usually have less stuff on it. I try to have
Right.
big and bold, easy to read, and so it doesn't get lost. So that's another thing you want to take into consideration when you're buying these props is how are they going to look in the photos and will people be able to read them, right? I have a prop. Let me see if I can shoot this one. A llama.
The llama.
The llama. A live llama.
That's
That was at a
that's
party.
a
I'm like,
live.
that's a prop.
Wait,
Bring it in.
I'm like, wait a second. That's
Yeah.
super cool. That's a stuff like, and then you're like,
No.
no, that's real. That's real.
That's a live llama. They had one at the party, and I said, you know what? Sure, bring them on in. And they brought it.
What was
There was
what
good
was it? A
some.
bachelor party in Vegas
No, it was
that
my
you were
next door
doing?
neighbor. I just moved to a new house, met the neighbor, his daughter's birthday party, and they had a petting zoo, and so we decided to bring the llama in the booth. It was a blast. The llama was
Well,
fantastic.
I gotta say that's probably a pretty unique one,
Yeah,
to say the
I
least.
can't buy one of those. Well, you can, but
Right?
I don't know where you'd put it. So, um,
Listen, there's farms that
yeah,
raise the llamas and alpacas and all that stuff. So
I'd have to have a whole new set of insurance drawn up. I mean, that's a different category in its own. You have llama insurance?
yeah, yeah. How would you like call an insurance company? They'd probably just like start laughing at you and like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Have you been have you been to New Jersey and partaking of their new law that they passed in
Not yet.
smoking the green stuff?
I have not. I have not. Have you?
No, I
No.
haven't.
Here's somebody who's saying the only problem is the cooler they are, the more they get stolen.
Not
Yeah,
true at all.
sometimes.
Not true at all. And that's where your host or your I've had people like actually buy, props from me that I've had like for years. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't sell it, but I had a guy hand me $100 one night for one of my Viking hats.
Huh.
Sure, I'll take
Yeah.
that. I don't care that
It,
you're drunk. If you're gonna pay me $100 for it, sure, I'll give it to you.
you can buy five,
It's a
two or three
it's a
more.
it's a 4.99 hat. You could buy, at Party City.
Yep.
Um, sure, go ahead.
Yeah. In the beginning, I had stuff stolen, but I learned my lesson well, and now I always have my guard up. And most
Yep,
events I do, there's two people. I mean, it cuts into my cost, but I raise my price to be able to afford that, and it's a better experience.
sure.
So I've got somebody
Yep,
watching props while we're doing photos. We swap in and out.
yep. And there's times where, I even at the beginning of the night, the bridal party will come over and say, "Hey, can we borrow some of your props for the entrance, like if we're doing a wedding?" I got no problem with that.
Yeah,
And then after, when they walk in, I just, kind of slide up behind them and grab the stuff and, let them do their thing.
yeah, and I'm always polite about that too. Making sure
Yeah,
it's not about, hey, give me that prop. It's, oh man, I just want to make sure more people get to use this thing.
right.
That's little.
Yep.
So, um, some other things. So again, signs are great, but frames, right? So I got this really nice antique frame at a yard sale. So I mean, this is real deal stuff. It's absolutely
Yep.
fantastic. Yeah, this is a good one. So another thing I used to have is a lampshade. I used to bring a lampshade,
Right.
and they could put it on their
Yeah.
head.
I
And then
remember that. And actually I saw one of your pictures that you had posted once and I'm like, man, I never thought about that.
I,
That's a lampshade. That's awesome.
yeah,
I think I even messaged you about it.
you did. I do remember
I,
you messaging me
way,
about
way
that.
back when. Yeah.
It's I don't have them anymore though. I got rid of them.
Right.
They started getting worn out, and I couldn't find another lampshade that looked like that lampshade. I was just very
Right.
particular about that lampshade. That's it. Art has admitted his lust for lampshades, specific ones too. But this one I got from Michaels, so it's a really nice
Right.
rustic wooden sign. You can always find stuff like this. It's just a little extra touch. Again, you're not going to get too much glare off of this because of
Right.
its texture that you've got on it. So PVC are great. Have the PVCs, but throw a couple of different things in there
Yeah,
into your arsenal.
being unique. I mean, I see a lot of people that don't use props at all, and I'm all about. Listen, you do you. I mean, if that works for your business model,
Yeah,
by all means, go for it. But I choose to have some. My table is a mess every night,
looks
you
like a
know,
yard sale.
and we're cleaning it up like crazy, but our guests love it.
Yeah. So
And I get, oh my God, I've never seen this many props. The signs I have messages on both sides of the signs, and people are like, oh, I like this message, and they flip it over and they're like, oh my God, I love this one even more. And when you're doing multiple shots, they can flip the sign back and forth and
yeah,
and
makes it
have some
easier
fun.
for switching.
Yep.
Yeah, I try not to have too many props on a table. I have enough to fill the table, but it's not like a big dump of props. And no matter what we
Right.
do, it ends up being all messed up and looks like a giant pile of laundry or whatever. But
Always.
but I try
Always.
not to have too many because I don't want them sitting there too long looking through props. Like I don't know which one to use, and
Right.
but
Well,
less
and
clutter.
that's the thing is, the props can really enhance an event, but they're not always needed,
Right.
which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's what you think that will work for you and your customers and your guests.
Yeah.
The
Absolutely.
nice thing is there are companies that can do custom ones for you.
Yes.
So think outside the box. The food ones are always cool because it's not something that's normal.
Hmm.
You can take a picture and send it to some of these companies, and they can probably create something for you. I did a wedding where we had the bride and groom's heads blown up to like 10 times their size, and people were holding them up, probably not 10 times, but
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 times, and they had them on little sticks. I think that was done by like Fathead, I think does
Yeah.
those,
Yeah. The fathead ones.
where you can send a picture. And they actually had their dog too. They had like a pug,
Uh-huh.
and then they just had the eye holes cut out,
Oh yeah, and people were putting
where
them
their
up.
eyes were. And it was cute. It's just something that's unique that you can upsell to your customers. I do custom hashtag props
Hmm.
for some of my events,
Yeah.
um, and upsell it. It's for corporate stuff.
Oh yeah. Definitely
You
custom
can
props for
do,
corporate.
like you could do hashtag and then your corporate company or your corporate customer name or logo or something like that.
Yeah, and one of the good
So
ways to do that, Dave. So let's talk about that for a second. So corporate gigs, there is opportunity for upsells because there's tons of stuff going on, and you're making their job easier by presenting ideas to them. What would be your method? So if you've never done a custom prop before and you want to get into that and sell corporate clients, if you get them that, how would you start? What's your advice on that?
So one of the first things I do is I do searches for on Instagram and Twitter and things like that for that company,
Uh-huh.
and look to see if they have any like hashtags already existing,
Right.
like Coca-Cola or um, trying to think of some American Airlines.
Uh-huh.
I did an event for American Airlines, and they had the hashtag or AA.
Yeah.
A lot of people thought it was Alcohol
Alcoholics
Anonymous, but it
Anonymous.
was actually AA. Um, so that's the first and foremost thing, and then find somebody that can make them.
Yeah. So
There's some
should
great
you make
resources.
one? Should you make an investment and test out somebody who custom makes them first to make sure the quality of the product's good, and make that investment
Sure.
of whatever it is, 500, no, not 500, but like seventy
Well, I
five
mean,
bucks, $50.
they'll do them for it may cost you $20
Uh-huh.
to have a custom one made,
Yeah.
if they're able to.
Because the
There's
last thing you
only a
want
few
to do is,
companies. There's only a few companies that can make them, and you're gonna pay more for them,
yeah.
obviously, because it's not the norm for them. So they're gonna charge you for that.
Uh-huh.
Um,
So maybe
but yeah,
just,
I would actually just get a couple samples
yeah,
made. It's an investment.
it is.
Um, like the Dunkin' Donuts, when I did the event for them, I did the D&D, the Dunkin' Donuts, like with the color and
Yeah.
stuff that they use.
Hmm.
So
But you knew what
you
the
know,
quality of the product was because you already had some props from that company, right?
no,
Oh, you didn't?
no, I had seen them at the expo, and when talking to them, uh, no, actually, what they were referred. I talked to them at the expo, and then I actually talked to somebody that actually did order similar props that I was looking for, and they actually had them already designed and sent me a couple pictures of.
Is
Yeah,
that these here from Epic Print?
yep,
Yeah.
yep, yeah. So they sent me a couple mock-ups of what they had. I sent it to the customer. The customer's like, "Oh my god, I love this."
Yeah.
Like I said, they did the donuts, um, and like the Dunkin' Donut, the hashtag with the Dunkin' Donut
Hmm.
signs. And next time we do a show on props, I'll break some of those out and show them to you.
Okay.
I mean, they're really nice.
We got another comment here. This is a important one. I've seen this one around. Do you bring your own table? Because sometimes it's like pulling teeth to get a nice table at our venues. I always bring a table. I'm particular. I don't. I want to set up quick. when sometimes when I get to a venue, the flower person has their stuff all over my table, or the linen person has stuff all over my table, or the person setting tables with the dinnerware, the plates that's on my table. Even when I'm DJing, I bring my own table. I always bring my own table. I use a 4 foot table, so it's easy for me. I can put it in my van, and I don't have to worry
Mhm.
about it. How about you? Do you bring your own table?
So, yes and no. What I normally do is I call the venues
Uh-huh.
that we have events at
Yeah.
and ask them
Okay.
if they supply a table or if I should bring one myself.
Gotcha.
I send out a 4 foot table with all my systems, but normally when I'm doing something, I'm bringing a 6 foot table with,
Oh, you use the big
uh,
one. Yeah.
and I have the table like a table cover.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it
This
has
rim.
grab a prop, strike a pose, and I have
Yep.
some that have our logo on it. Um, I've even done some. You can get those custom made where you can have your customer's logo on it too.
Yeah.
Um, and people, I have some in black and some in white, depending on the event.
Uh-huh.
If it's white, I put a light underneath, like your uplights,
Yep.
like you were talking about
On the
doing
back
something
there.
like that.
Yeah.
Or I have one of those little star ball type things that
Oh,
kind of
that's
does the
cool.
little polka dot patterns. John Place actually, way back when, used to put them underneath his table, and I just thought it was really cool because when you got the music and the light show going on with the DJ,
Yeah.
then you come over to the booth and you got kind of a light show going on
Yeah.
under the table. It kind
It's a
of it
party
kind
in
of
the
adds a
photo
little
booth.
bit of fun to it too,
That's cool.
and you
Yeah,
can pick up.
I like that. I don't use the white tablecloths yet, but now, come to think of it, you gave me another idea. Maybe I should get one of those and test those out for certain events, right? It's not really for
Yeah.
every event, but some of the kids' events I think would be fantastic for.
Well, and I have some that are printed, with like the grab a prop, and
Hmm.
then I have just some that like the lycra ones that kind of fit over the legs
Yeah.
that kind of give it like that nice sharp, classic look or stylish modern look, I
Hmm.
guess. And those are the ones, like I said, you just throw a little because I normally store my boxes underneath my tables.
Yep.
Um, and that's kind of why I like having the 6 footer because I can fit my printer bag and my prop boxes and even my rock and roller cart under the table a lot of
It is
times.
much nicer having 6 feet. So I bring a four
Yeah.
foot, and I keep that in a van, and I walk into the venue first just to double check. And if they've got a 6 foot table, I'm using theirs and leaving my 4 foot in the van. But now you got me thinking I should get a 6 foot because I have enough room. I just never
Mhm.
bother bringing a 6 foot, but it's so much better to have
Costco
that
is
extra
where I got
room.
mine. I think the 6 footers I think were like $60
Yeah,
maybe.
it's worth it.
I mean it folds in half, so it'll fit through most doorways.
Hmm.
Um, the 4 footer definitely fits through the doorways.
Yeah. Okay.
I
No,
would say
that's
most of the time. Occasionally, you get a narrower doorway,
so
but yeah,
most of these comments that we're getting, it just shows us as let me just show you guys Facebook user. I'd love to be able to show you guys names, and the way to do that is you have to allow Facebook, if you're watching on Facebook, to access your information. If you're not worried about that kind of stuff, you can go to Photo Booth Magazine. Our homepage has a link right here. So if you click on this link, takes you to a page to allow. I've already connected, so if I show up on somebody's eCam live, which is the software we're using, then it'll show my name. But you click on
right,
that link on our website and it'll allow Facebook to see your information, and we can see your name. We'd love to be able to give you guys shout outs. So it's one thing I wanted to show you.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely. Because we love everybody that watches us every week. We'd love to be able to call you out by name and say, hey, you know, thanks. Um, I know we go in and we look at the Facebook and the stuff that is posted, comments that are on our different pages because we're broadcasting in the Photo Booth Network and on our page, Photo Booth Magazine, also on YouTube. So it's all these different platforms that we want to be able to kind of say, hey, thanks. We appreciate it. And speaking of thanks, that leads me into my next segue, Art, is we're going to be having the Photo Booth Network Awards starting in November.
That's right.
Uh, my cat behind me is very excited, as you can see. Um,
It's a great prop.
I know, very expensive prop, I have to say. Um, so we're going to be doing uh, through. We're going to be starting at the beginning of November.
Okay.
We're going to do one. We're going to have where you can nominate people for different categories,
Yep.
and then we're going to have voting that you'll be able to vote. So, we'll have, and it'll be on the Photo Booth magazine too.
Yep.
So you'll be able to do the voting, and then we're going to do the awards at the Photo Booth Expo.
Correct.
Or we've already talked to Rob about it.
He's cool.
He's on board with it. So we're gonna have fun.
Yeah, we are.
I'm gonna have We're gonna have some trophies made up, or awards, um, for all kinds of things.
Yeah, and some
So we
giveaways too, right? So giveaways for those who are voting, right? So
Yep,
incentive to vote.
yep. So we're gonna have probably different things that we'll be giving away, to just a random person that submits a vote. We'll do like however we do it. We're still putting it together, so we got a
Figure it
month to
out.
go yet.
Yeah,
We'll get it all figured out and have more details, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I've done these in the past. I hadn't done them in a few years, but we want to start it back up and kind of have some fun with this. Because what we're here to do is kind of give back to the community and highlight you guys and the work that you do. Um, so there's going to be some vendor awards. There's going to be some that are going to be like photo booth company, whether it be, best bridal show setup,
yeah.
kind of thing. And people will be able to kind of post,
So some
nominate people.
some photo booth company categories, some vendor categories, a little bit of everything.
Correct. Yeah, it's going to be a mixture of everything.
Okay.
It's industry centric.
Yeah.
So
So fun for everybody. That's great. I can't wait. So, and you and I just talked a little bit about that, but I can't wait to get started on this. That's it's gonna be a fun little project
yeah,
for us. And again, I know you love it, and so I can't wait to experience it. So
We're gonna have fun with it this year.
yeah, and I think November. Yeah, November's that's a good window because you get November, December, January, and then February. So it gives us like 4 months, right, to kind of like get it all wrapped up into a nice.
Yeah, so I figure we do like one a week. We'll
Okay.
do like the voting or the nominations like a Monday through Wednesday,
Uh-huh.
and then Wednesday through Sunday we'll do the voting
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Okay.
And then we'll have the next category for the next week. Then people can nominate people, and then we'll have somewhere where you can go and vote, via email or however we're going to do it. We're still working on
Yeah.
that.
Still working on that.
Art
I
and
got some
I
ideas.
are got some ideas. So stay tuned for that. I'm really excited.
Yeah. I got it. I think I got it down. I'm not going to say anything now, but you and I will reveal it all.
Yep, yep. We're
Give it
working on it.
the curtain.
So hang
Yeah.
tough and tell people, to stay with us here at the Photo Booth Network, and
Yep.
the community and photo booth communities. We're out there. We're out there just doing our thing.
That's it.
We got two and Photo Booth Expo. Make sure if you haven't signed up yet, it's coming in February,
It
and
is.
make sure you get your tickets. If this is your first time coming across us, um, click on a link on our YouTube page or our Facebook page and get your tickets now
Yep.
for the Photo Booth Expo
This is it.
2023.
And then they've got the mastermind before that. Is that what that's called?
Yes, so
Yeah.
there's going to be another one before, and you know what? Maybe we'll have Ismail on to talk about that one.
Yeah.
Beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
So
So it's actually two
and
kind of like a mini expo before and then the big expo,
right
right? So that's
and
awesome.
and also, our we were talking about props tonight. We have Julia scheduled in a couple weeks to from Yo Props,
Yeah.
and also the women's conference that runs in conjunction at the Photo Booth Expo. Um, that she's going to be on, so we'll be able to really kind of talk to her and kind of get some ideas because what she's doing is amazing
Yep.
for the female photo boothers that are out
Absolutely.
there.
Yeah, I got a sneak peek at what was kind of going on. It was they had the room, at least when I
Yeah,
saw it, right next to the registration, and it was hopping in there.
they had
It's
like
packed.
masseuses there. I'm like,
They
I I I
they
wanted
treated
I wanted to be in there. I
yeah.
mean, and they do it up like I
They
mean it's really
the ladies know what they're doing,
pampering.
hands
Yeah,
down.
yeah. Well, I mean, listen, they they know. They
Yes, they
know.
do.
I mean, we're guys,
We're
but
dumb guys. It is what it is.
it is.
But
So,
all right, so we're at about an hour. Dave, that was a good cover for James. James, we hope you're doing well down there,
wow.
and everybody else in Florida. Um, and next week we have DJ Rachel Lynch joining us. Why? Because number one, because she's cool, but number two, because she's in the DJ industry and who's gotten into the photo booth industry as well. So we're gonna find a little bit about her side of things, and for DJs out
And
there
she does
who
a lot of great YouTube videos
she does a
on
ton.
setting up your systems, um, and also, just for DJ stuff. She does equipment reviews, a really great resource.
Yeah, she has
So she's
her
fantastic.
yeah, her YouTube channel is just full of so much stuff from DJs all the way through photo booth stuff that she's working with on her end. So honored to have her next week. And then I think the next week after that, we've got Rex, right?
We do have, yep, Rex from California.
Yep.
He's one of probably the top rated speakers at the Photo Booth Expo. Um,
And he's going to be
and
talking about wireless printing, which is a huge
he's going to be
topic
talking about
that,
wireless, yes,
yeah.
iPad printing,
Yep.
and we might even have something special for everybody who tunes in that night.
Yeah. Because I
We might
know,
have something special,
yeah, I mean, wireless printing is something that I struggled with in the beginning. I think I got it down now, but he is like, he actually has a couple videos on it, so he's got a nice
yep,
YouTube channel as well. But he's going to come on the show, tell us about what it is, how it's done right, and people can ask questions, and he's the brain trust with the wireless brain. So join us, in 2 weeks for Rex. So
right.
well, Dave, episode 6 in the books.
We did it
We did it.
again, six weeks in a row, and we're still
We're still
here.
here. Well, thank you, Dave, and thank you everybody for tuning in. We'll see you next week with Rachel Lynch. And till then, have a great night.